Dirk, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and especially the human rights community. It's such a pleasure for me to see you once again here, by the way, at the same place as last time, to mark our annual expert talks on human rights. We have a really unique format in these talks with the United Nations, the Council of Europe, and the OSCE joining us as well. Then we have our human rights dialogue about 6 months later. So we do talk about human rights. It's also been a very good time to talk about human rights. Good time in terms of calendar. It's always a good time to talk about human rights. And that's because on Saturday we celebrated International Human Rights Day. And you've all seen the declaration of High Representative Mogherini on behalf of the European Union. But there was another, I would say, human rights related issue, which was on Sunday, but here we celebrated it on Saturday. And that gets me to the positive side of developments, and that was the 70th anniversary of UNICEF, which we celebrated here on Saturday. I think the day was on Sunday, and Nune, thank you for your hospitality and for an absolutely fantastic event. Now, in the case of Moldova, in the case of human rights, children's rights are very important. They're important in a country which has large amounts of children left behind, a country which still has problems based on domestic violence. We do look forward to seeing the Istanbul Convention ratified. But it is also a country which has shown leadership by being the only Eastern Partnership country which has a separate chapter on children's rights as part of the association agreement. So there are positive dynamics. What is our vision? And then I get a bit to those where we would like to maybe draw a little bit more attention to as well. What's our vision of Moldova? You've heard about the European Global Strategy, the EGS, as we call it. We, Brussels people, we love abbreviations and jargon, but the European Global Strategy, which really brings a few elements on the table: principles, values, and our interests. You can no longer have a debate in the EU about interests on one hand and values, because our realpolitik is our geopolitics, is a geopolitics of people living in accountable societies, living in prosperity, living in freedom, and living in an inclusive manner. There was a long discussion today on minority issues as well. As part of the European Global Strategy, we're talking very much about the resilience of societies, the resilience of states. And if you really want this country to pull together, go forward, so bringing that sense of we, I know I'm stealing from Mike Scanlon here, is a key issue to do. And here, ratifying or adopting a national minorities integration strategy is really one of the main things, one of the key issues you can do to bring that we, to take away that, which I would call artificial polarization. But then, let me come to the slightly darker part. We've seen a lot of good things happen. We see the roadmap for priority actions, we see an IMF agreement, but at the same time, there is a feeling that there are issues which need more attention. Issues related to what some may perceive as selective use of justice, of using too much pre-trial detention conditions. We're talking about the right to free trial, open trial, transparent trial. That's part of the rights of individuals, but it's also part of the rights of society. Because society has the right to know, for instance, when a building gets stolen, what happened, and has a right to know that transparently. We also see, in part of this sort of picture, cases like that of lawyer Anna Osaki or Mr. Rudenko. This doesn't look good. This needs to be addressed. I'm looking here at Dominika Manole, and we have expressed concern on the case against her. Media freedom, that's really key. It is very important that no media outlet, be it Journal, be it anybody else, faces eviction. And that the media can work freely. You're on the right path, but Europe, our geopolitics, is all about getting this right in the rules-based society. This is about resilience, and that's what will bring your country forward. And that's what we're here to support you with. I am very happy to see you here, Minister. We've been working on budget support, but we've been fundamentally working on the reform of the judiciary. And here also, Protocol 12 of the Council of Europe. It needs to be ratified. Anti-discrimination is something which is very fundamental in our DNA as Europeans, and you are Europeans. So, with these words, thank you all for being here on this, what I could call Human Rights Week, starting from the Human Rights Day, coming with this expert meeting today, and which may still continue with other parts of public discussion. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Minister, for being here together with us.